All righty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good Wednesday afternoon. As always, I'm your host, Casey Halpern, and I'm thrilled to do something a little differently this week. No NFL preview, but excited to be joined by DarkHorse Odds founder, Mike. Mike,
How you
it's good to
doing?
see you. Welcome to the stream. How are we feeling the day before Thanksgiving?
Good. I'm excited for it. Always excited for that holiday, and always excited to talk match betting.
I love it. Before we dive in, for those of you at home watching and who are unfamiliar with betting, let's quickly touch on it. Match betting is basically just leveraging sportsbook and casino promos and bonuses to make guaranteed money. It's a technique used by individuals across the globe for decades. And it's a technique to make a guaranteed profit by just betting on sporting events no matter what. And it's completely legal and it's a risk-free way of making money. And there's no better time to make money than this holiday season. You got to buy gifts for people. This is a great way to do it. You don't have to go out of your own pocket to do so. And
Yeah, absolutely.
we here at Profit Exchange encourage all parties to partake in match betting whenever possible and use our platform to do so. We will never limit you for it. I guess before we dive in, Mike, I want to ask you like a few questions. How did you come up with Dark Horse? Like, what was the impetus behind it?
So when sports had all but basically closed down for the bulk of 2020, and it started to come up towards the end of the year in the fall, around September timeframe, I started to get excited about sports betting again and was looking into various profitable betting strategies out there, right? So as I did more and more research, I was disappointed to hear that like 96 or 97% of bettors are not profitable. So I was digging and looking for ways. Then eventually stumbled across match betting. It started with basically combing through odds manually using Excel sheets, a lot of pen and paper math. Then realized like, hey, I can absolutely automate this and speed up the entire process, get better conversions, save time, and ended up turning into a website that we now have as a service to help as many people as possible make money.
That's amazing. That's pretty incredible. So you were literally just like, did your computer break in this process with those Excel sheets? Like I had to imagine that some pretty big wear and tear causing it on it.
Yeah, like so. I mean, it was just how manual it was outrageous, right? So, like Dark Horse now, we come through millions and millions of combinations every single day. Whereas what I used to have to do is like pull up DraftKings, pull up FanDuel, pull up whoever, find one game, find the opposing sides of that game, throw them into a spreadsheet manually, and then run it through Excel formulas from there, and slowly go over time. Using some macros within Excel to pull odds in, and then just over time, we built it up to what Dark Horse is now. But yeah, it was way more labor intensive. It used to be way more labor intensive than it is now. So it's exciting. We're excited to be able to offer that product, and not everyone has to go through what I went through when I started.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, and we're going to go through the product here in a second, and it's amazing. It actually does all the work for you. So you basically just have to like put in various offers that you could find, and you hit a few buttons and voila, it lays out exactly how you make guaranteed cash. It's very similar to the way we do our profit boost, where if you just read our tweets every day that we put out, and all it takes is just 2 minutes of following the directions and just doing the work yourself, submitting the bets, and you lock in money. That's exactly how Dark Horse works.
It's the exact same concept, just targeting sportsbooks promotions, right? Like instead of just that one or two a day, like in just everyone you get from a sportsbook, you can target and use the tools on Dark Horse to convert into profit.
It's that easy, and it could even be significantly more lucrative, which is great.
Oh yeah, you can add up very quickly.
I'm going to share my screen and bring up the website. Hold on. And we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. So for those who are now tuned in, you can see my screen. As you can see, this is the homepage, Dark Horse. Mike, do you want to walk us through basically where we should start?
Yep. So the first thing you can do, right? So I'm going to assume that we're new, that it's at least newer to sports betting, right? Maybe I don't have an account with every sports book available in my state. So the first thing you can do is click up the top there, right? So that earns 6,791. So that's going to take you to what we call the sign up offer dashboard. And if you just scroll down, these are all the sign up offers, and it's going to be based off the state you have selected in settings, right? So in this case, New Jersey. right? So we have Profit Exchange, we have DraftKings. If you keep scrolling down, it'll go from there, right? We have all of them listed out. We have links, claim offer, take it right to you, as well as some details on what the offers are and how to convert them, what bet finders you should use. Every one of those hyperlinks, right? Like right there for PointsBet, it says the risk-free bet. That'll take you to our guide on how to convert risk-free bets, right? So you can use the guide. And then on the left-hand side, on the original page, is our risk-free bet finder, which is where you would enter in the criteria based on exactly what the promotion is.
Pretty simple.
Right. So that's a great place to start. So if we go, I think one of the simpler ones right now is go back to the sign-up offer dashboard. So click promo dashboard. Yep, right there. Perfect. Scroll down towards the bottom. We'll start with one of the smaller offers. Right. I think a pretty simple one is Hard Rock, right? So they have $100 risk-free bet. So if you were to click claim offer, it would bring you to Hard Rock. And you can select Jersey.
I look forward to doing this in Florida next month when I'm there.
Choose sports. It defaults to casino.
Yep.
And there you go, right there. The no regret first bet up to $100, right? So it's important to, now you need to identify what type of promotion you have. So we call it the risk-free bet finder. When Ohio launched about a year ago, they actually changed, they had a couple laws in place. You can't call it risk-free anymore. So now sometimes it's called a no sweat first bet or second chance first bet, no regret first bet. The important thing here is to identify that what a risk-free bet is, right? So the criteria that define a risk-free bet are you're placing the initial bet with money from your bankroll. You're wagering your cash first. But if it loses, you get a refund, right? So they're calling it the no regret first bet. If you were to pull up the terms and conditions, it's going to say, hey, your first bet up to $100. If you lose, we're going to give you a $100 free bet back. So boom, it's insurance, right? A risk-free bet. So now we know. Go ahead.
No. So just to clarify for everyone, so basically you have to make a deposit. Let's say you deposit $100 and you put $100 on something at Hard Rock. Let's say that loses. They are going to refund you up to $100 in that promo credit though, that you cannot withdraw. You have to bet through that.
Correct, right? So for Hard Rock specifically, it's going to be refunded as a free bet. Right. So you can't withdraw the free bet back into your bank account. You have to bet that again. Right. And this is where some people get nervous, like, there's all these high rollover requirements. Like that's not really the case, especially in the United States. Like some offshore stuff might, but in the United States, it's normally 1x and you're ready to go. Right. So now we know the terms here for this Hard Rock sign up offer. It's max of $100. It's a risk-free bet because if we lose it, we're going to get that refund, and that refund is going to come in the form of a free bet, right? So that's all the information we need to turn this into profit. So now we can go back to DarkHorse Odds. We can choose the risk-free bet finder and select Hard Rock from the dropdown, right? So then we can set all our criteria. So we have our sportsbook selected, Hard Rock. The risk-free bet amount happens to default to 100, so that's the right amount. And then free bet is what it's refunded as. So you can see in the middle there, the lost bet is refunded as, and there's a drop down. In this case, it's free bet. If it were something else, such as a site credit, you can change that drop down, but it's already set. We're ready to go, right? So then now with DarkHorse,
you could easily change
the
amount.
You type in, just to make up a number, right? Type in 525. Right, it's going to load for half a second. And then here you go. This is all, it redoes all the math for you. It tells you exactly what you need to do, right? Okay. And with this, you can see all those possible hedges, and you're gonna convert that at some pretty insane numbers. Now, one thing I do recommend, right? So just for instructional purposes here, go back to settings and just set Hard Rock and Profit Exchange to remove all those excess books from the results.
Oh, didn't mean that. So just Hard Rock and Profit.
Yeah, so there's a clear all button at the bottom. Probably be a little quicker. So then Hard Rock and then Profit. You need Profit as well up top.
I think I screwed up. It was set before. My mistake.
No worries.
And enable
undo the BYO. Undo that. We can talk about that later. I would uncheck that for now.
Okay.
And then here we go. Right, so now looking at this, we can turn that $100 risk-free bet from Hard Rock into $45 cash, right? Like guaranteed risk-free. The only risk is if you make the wrong bet, right? But we tell you exactly what to do. So the first question you're always going to get is like, oh, how in the world does this work? So the bet slip on the right-hand side, you can see the dark blue is the bet we have selected. You could choose whichever one you want, but we'll go with the most profitable one. So then the bet slip on the right-hand side tells you everything you need to know, right? So the bets are going to be placed on the Jets Dolphins. Actually, you're a big Jets fan, so here we go. Jets Dolphins game this Friday, right? The first Black Friday football game. Gives you the date and the time, and then so the risk-free bet. This is a side on Hard Rock. You're going to bet the Jets money line, that $100 bet at plus 375 odds, right? And then you're going to place a hedge bet on Profit Exchange on the Dolphins money line. So money line just means to win, right? So one side you're betting the Jets to win, one side you're betting the Dolphins to win. One of those two bets is going to win, and the other one is going to lose. And either way, we're saying you're going to walk away with $45 profit. So what's the math behind that? So if you click the info button in the bottom right, it's going to line it all up. So if your risk-free bet wins, that's your $100 bet on the Jets on Hard Rock. So $100 at plus 375 odds, that's going to pay out $375 profit, right? You're going to lose your hedge, which was on Profit Exchange, of $330. So 375 minus 330 loss gives you a net profit of $45. You're done. You walk away with your $45 cash, right? Easy day.
This is truly the only time I would say advocate for betting on Tim Boyle and the New York Jets. Only do that. Do that if you're using Dark Horse and Profit to lock in some free money, please. Otherwise, I advise against it. But go on.
Yep. So I saw that question, Ryan. We do have that, and we'll get into our filters in a second here. Great question.
I will bring up this question in a second once we.
We'll get to that. So then we'll say we have very little faith in the Jets this weekend. Understandably so. Defense is solid, but there's nothing on offense. But so then if the hedge bet wins, right? So if the Dolphins win, which is the more likely scenario, they're minus 430 favorites. That's going to happen like 85% of the time, right? Is what they're trying to tell us. Is you're going to profit $76.74 on Profit Exchange, right? Profit Exchange is an exchange, so you're going to charge a 2% commission. We build all that math in for you, right? So you're going to pay $1.53 in commission, right? So it gives you, I'm just going to round, right? We're going to call it $75 profit. But you lose your original bet on Hard Rock, which was $100. So you have $75 profit minus $100. So if you paused right here, you're technically down $25 cash. But this is where that risk-free bet, that no-regret first bet promotion comes into play from Hard Rock. They're going to give you a $100 free bet refund. We know that those can be converted again using the exact same concept we're talking about right now at about 70%. So we're going to value that at $70, right? So then we add that $70 back into the $25 loss we had from before, right? After step one, this is where step two comes into play. And then $70 minus the $25 loss gives us right back to $45 profit, no matter who wins this game, right? So you might be asking what if I don't win that next bet? Well, you're going to do match betting again, right? So just remember that $70 is the expected profit. So you can hit dismiss, open up the free bet finder. So let's say the Dolphins do win, right? Dolphins do win, you lose your bet on Hard Rock, you get your $100 free bet refund. Well, now we have a free bet finder, right? And then here we go. You pull up the free bet finder, you enter in the same criteria. So you choose Hard Rock, you type in the amount, which is $100, and then boom, again, as always, we're going to spit out all the possible combinations. Now, you may look at this and say, obviously you can't bet the Jets game again because you wouldn't get the refund until after that happens, right? But you can see there's hundreds of other games. There's almost 4,000 different combinations there. But the concept is the exact same, right? So just choose the Commanders game, the one below it, just so we're talking about different games. So it doesn't get confusing. All right, so then now I've got my $100 free bet. Again, the bet slip on the right-hand side has all the info you need. You put that $100 free bet on the Commanders at plus 500. You hedge on the Cowboys at minus 620 on Profit Exchange. And either way, you're going to walk away with $68 profit. We expected 70. we're getting 68. It's basically right in line with what we were planning. So how does this work? If the Commanders win, $100 free bet at plus 500 odds gives a return of $500. What you need to understand about free bets is the stake is not returned on a winning bet, right? So that's where it's just that 500. You lose your hedge of 432 on profit exchange. So 500 minus 432, $68 profit. If hedge wins, right? So if the Cowboys beat the Commanders, you profit $69.68. Again, you pay your 2% commission for $1.39. You lose your free bet. It's a free bet. You did not lose any money. You did not risk your money on this wager, right? So you just profit that $68. So $68 profit either way from this free bet goes added back to like that step 2 where we assumed, hey, we're going to get 70, we got 68. So we're back to that $45 profit that first time, right? So it is a 1 or 2 step process. It depends who wins that first one, whether it's the risk-free bet side or the hedge side. But either way, you're going to walk away with the same amount of profit. It doesn't matter which happens first. Only thing it changes is the number of steps involved. But again, you're always betting on both sides of the sporting event. You're covering all possible outcomes, and you're going to walk away with the same amount of money.
It's pretty incredible. And again, it is completely legal, and it's legitimately a risk-free way of making money.
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds too good to be true, right? I'm over here trying to say, hey, I'm going to guarantee you some money. Like, that's always fake. That's never true, right? And then, I'm going to do it via sports betting. Like, that's even more ridiculous. But no, it's true, and we lay out all the math for you, right? All you have to do is come in and say, I have X promotion on Y sportsbook. Enter in the criteria. We do the math, tell you exactly what to bet. You go place those 2 bets. It takes you, 2 to 5 minutes. In this case, you made $70 or $45, excuse me, right? And some offers are a lot bigger, others are smaller, but your hourly rate is going to be through the roof.
It's pretty incredible. Obviously, there are new sportsbook offerings happening pretty much every day. Now, They're not as crazy as they once upon a time were when the Wild Wild West was happening in 2018, 2020. And new states were being added. But
yes, I will say yes and no, right? So in general, the offers have gone down a little bit. I agree with that. However, the last 3, maybe 4 states that have launched, both DraftKings and FanDuel have done a $5,000 risk-free bet to get started, right? So obviously you need a large bankroll to be able to max those out. But when new states launch, they still absolutely go after market acquisition, right? These sports books are competing. There's only so many people that are going to be interested in placing wagers. So they're trying to buy that up via promotions, which is great for us because that's how we profit.
I would have loved to have had Dark Horse when Caesars released the 3K deposit match.
Yeah, 3,500 up in New York when they launched January of 21, I think.
Incredible.
Or 22, maybe. Yeah.
I remember just like doing all the math, like as you said, with like pen and paper, and like I'm sure I like screwed up some sort of way and probably didn't maximize my earnings itself. But that was
so that's one of the best parts about Dark Horse. Like, can you do this for free and manually? Absolutely, right? But I guarantee that we're going to get the math right. And then also hit the dismiss button real quick on there. And then top right-hand corner, the yellow icon now, there's new odds are available. Less than a minute old. Right, we just ripped through 3,929 combinations and gave you the best one. Right, I challenge any person to do it manually, that fast. So
you can't beat a computer. And the great thing about Dark Horse is like you could just browse odds as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to place a real bet, like some people still want to get some real bets in there, you can click and see the odds available. You can choose a variety of markets. So game lines, right? This money line. You can change it to spread, alternate spread, total, player props. Just about everything you'd want to search for.
Incredible. And again, it's very easy to plug in which sports books you want on and which not and whatnot. One brand that just actually relaunched was ESPN Bet. So I believe their current offer is like if you were a former Barstool player, I believe it's get $250 in free bets.
200, yeah. So you place any bet, they're going to give you $200 in free bets. So you can bet. You could do match betting for that initial bet, or you can just bet $1 on something and risk $1. You can bet $1 and hedge $1 on the other side and lose a penny to get, $200 in free bets.
And look at this. You can make guaranteed profit of almost of $170 no matter what.
Yep. Yeah. So you can turn that. That's an incredible conversion, 85%. It's fantastic.
I mean, that is a no-brainer. If you are in New Jersey and are using ESPN Bet and have those free bet credits, highly encourage you to take advantage of today's current Oregon State Baylor markets. Bet Oregon State with the free bet on ESPN Bet and bet Baylor on Profit Exchange. You can guarantee yourself $170 by literally just doing nothing but taking 2 minutes of your day to place two separate bets.
Yep. So Ryan, to answer your 2 questions here, yes, so we do have filters that will allow you based on the max bet on the other side, right? So, Casey, if you go back to DarkHorse,
yep,
hit filters.
Where am I?
So on the bet finder itself. Yep, there you go, filters. All right, so we have a plethora of filters. So if you can just expand each one of these, we can walk through them real fast, right? So you can choose individual leagues. Right. And so even in addition to just the league, so sometimes the promotion may only apply to the NBA. Right. So, Casey, turn the filter on real quick. There you go. Right. And then just clear them. And then, yep. So, yeah, it only applies to the NBA. Just making that up. But that is the thing that'll happen. Right. Or NCAA basketball. Sports books love when you wager, but they don't love when you wager on really small markets. There are some tiny, tiny schools out there when it comes to college basketball. So we have filters. So if you click the drop down, then you can say, hey, I only want to see top 25 teams. So you can uncheck all of Division I and then check just top 25. So now it's only going to show bets where the top 25 teams are available, right? These are going to be larger markets for the sports books, which they would rather you bet on than a really small market. And the reason is essentially they put less worry into deciding what the line should be. And it's more likely that you're going to expose them over time and look like a profitable bettor, which is behavior that they don't like, right? So then you can say, hey, I only want to bet on ranked teams in college basketball. I only want to bet on Power 5 conferences in college football and the NBA and the NFL. And we have filters for all of that, right, for leagues. We'll just keep scrolling. We can go through the next ones, right? Market type. All right, so these are all the markets we support. If you can turn it on, and then you can expand all those down, right? So there are dozens and dozens of markets that are supported on DarkHorse Odds, right? Player props, again, are much smaller markets than the money line for an entire game. So you can turn these on and off as required, right? 1 is to avoid smaller markets, or 2, the promotion may only apply to a specific team or a specific market. Right, so we allow you to filter down to find that exact bet that you want. Keep going from there. Market segment, same idea, right? You want to bet on the full game, halftime, first quarter, first 5 innings, first period of a hockey game. We enable this to filter bets on and off. Keep scrolling.
Up. I'm not scrolling.
No pushes. So some sports books will not refund a free bet if it pushes, right? So if you bet, a spread of +6, and the game ends as a 6-point differential, you may end up, not getting your free bet back, right? So we have filters to remove all possible combinations when there's a push. Bet odds, a lot of promotions will have minimum odds requirements, right? A minimum odds of -200. So again, you type in minimum or maximum odds, it's going to filter it down for you. Hedge bet odds, same idea. That will be applied to all the hedge books, not the promotional book. Hedge books themselves, you can turn them on and off, right? Instead of having to go to settings, if, hey, you don't have any money right now in one book, you can just turn it off really fast. And then right here, max hedge bet. So this is what you asked specifically, Ryan. You can say, hey, the most I have is $2,000 in said sports book. You can type it in, and it will not show any bets that would not meet that criteria. Awesome. Event filter, this one's pretty awesome. So you can say only, you can include or exclude events. So sometimes the promotion will be on the Monday night game, right? So you can hit add. Actually, we'll talk the Friday game, right? So then type in Jets in the quick search up top.
Yep. Up.
Oh, do we have NFL turned off? That would be why.
That's probably, yes. NBA is only turned on.
Yeah, turn that
Very
filter.
cool.
Yep.
Excuse me.
There we go.
Now we just want to add Jets.
So then you can select the Jets game, close. And then now it will only show bets from the Jets game. Or you can do the opposite. You can hit exclude selected events. I already bet on the Jets game on this sports book. I don't want to accidentally bet on the other side on the sports book. So now remove that from my results. The filter we have.
Date range.
Date range. So right below it has today only. So only show me results from today, or only show me results under date range. You can do the next X amount of hours or X amount of days, or you can even choose a start and end date via a calendar.
It's pretty comprehensive. It's a long menu of options, and honestly, there's just kind of endless.
Yeah,
abilities.
so you will be able to. We will be able to get you the exact bet you need, right, with all those filters. All right, so that's. Oh, go ahead.
No, how long did it take you to build the platform?
So we launched in June of 2021, right? So what's that? 2.5 years ago, whatever it is. Right. And then, but we have come a long way since then, right? The number of books, markets, filters, tools, bet finders that we support now compared to then has increased, and we're always adding more and more features, more sports books, more markets. We continue to expand. We have some pretty exciting things on our roadmap.
That's awesome. I mean, it's all just right here. Like, if you want to just make guaranteed cash, I think I turned off some sports, so I might just screw everything up.
Yeah, you can clear all your filters.
Yeah. Wait, what?
So we can answer Ryan's next question, right? So you just hit clear for all your filters up top next to main lines only. Boom. So that'll give all the results back, and then choose free bet. And then go back to settings and choose a sportsbook location. And then turn on all of New Jersey. Leave BYO off. We'll talk about BYO separately, but turn on the other sports books in Jersey.
There's a select all button, I'm sure.
Yep. And then uncheck BYO.
Uncheck BYO? Okay.
Yep. We'll do BYO as a separate conversation. That's an advanced feature. All right. And then so now go back to free bet. Right. Actually, go to. Those are small. Those are nothing markets. Go to filters. Main lines only. You can just hit the main lines only button up top. All right. So what that's going to do is that's going to remove all the player props, all the alternate lines. It's also going to remove any quarters, halves, or small segments. And the reason we're doing that is we talked earlier about like market size, right? Sportsbook want you to bet on large markets. So now if we go back, you can see Private Exchange is going to more or less dominate for the most part. Go to those are all tiny schools. You don't want to bet any of those. Add in
right here.
But yeah, top conversions 85%. Right. So there's a couple of reasons, and you can probably expand on this even further. Why would you want to use Private Exchange for match betting? Biggest reasons are they're never going to limit you, and you're going to get the most competitive odds, right? Sports books over time, right? They obviously don't enjoy this behavior that we're talking about. They don't know that you're doing it. They don't know that you're betting, Barstool in this example doesn't know that you're betting Oregon State there and then hedging with Baylor on Private Exchange or wherever. But they can notice when you start to have unusual betting behaviors, which is why we talked about filtering down and adding main lines only, right? So if you're betting on some random player prop to have, hit some weird alternate line and you're putting $1,000 down on it, you're probably going to be one of the biggest bettors on that entire market. You want to blend in. You want to bet on the NFL, where your couple $100 or even $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 bet is getting some of these bigger offers. Just blends into a pot of money that is, for some of these folks, it's probably in the millions. You just want to blend in as an average bettor. Private exchange doesn't care, right? So you're not going to get limited. And by limited, I mean they will impact and lower the max bet amount they accept from you. And then almost always the odds competitiveness for exchanges is just so much better. So you can probably see that best if you go to the browse odds table. And then, yep. So look at that. The best, private exchange dominate. So there's 14, 16 books in New Jersey, and you dominate half of them. It's unbelievable.
And that's not even the day of the game. Obviously,
yeah, that's only going to get better. You get down to like 0.5% or 0.25% over time, right? So
it's pretty incredible.
So I don't know if you want to expand on more reasons why you should use private exchange, but essentially, they're hosting this call, right? They want you to do this. They're volume-based business, not going to limit you, and you're going to get better odds, which better odds just means higher conversion rates.
That's pretty much it. I mean, look, you laid it out pretty perfectly. Every time you come to Profit Exchange, you're going to have a betting experience that's kind of unlike any other. It looks and feels like a sports book, but it's not really a book. You're not betting against us. You're betting against other users in the state of New Jersey. So as a result, you're just setting odds against each other, and you're just not paying a vig then. You're saving 8 to 10% every single time you bet pretty much. And what does that mean? You're going to win more every single time, or you're going to lose less, right? Like you don't need to, if you want to win $90 on Profit Exchange, you don't need to risk $100 like you do at a sportsbook. You have to risk probably $91, $92 to win that same 90. So over time, it just significantly impacts your bottom line positively, whether you're losing or you're winning, right? Because you don't have to risk as much as you would. And if you do win, you win a lot more than you would. I was just looking at it last week. I believe the Giants closed at like plus 370 money line on Profit Exchange. They were like plus 320 at FanDuel. That's a $50 difference right there if you place a $100 bet. There are so many opportunities every single day on Profit Exchange to just get the best odds in the market. And there are so many opportunities to utilize DarkHorse to ensure yourself guaranteed money, right? These sports books are dishing out offers pretty much every day. A lot of them are segmented, but I have a good feeling that this Thanksgiving weekend, there's going to be a ton of profit boosts out there. There's going to be free bets out there. Highly recommend.
I believe Caesars just handed out like 3 or 4 profit boosts for every customer.
Did they? Right. I have to go take a look after this.
Yeah.
I mean, like FanDuel, you get like a 25% profit boost basically every primetime game. Yes, are you limited to probably $5 or $10? I don't know, but I am myself, so I assume some are. But these books are going to be handing it out this weekend, and obviously Christmas Eve season. So highly encourage everyone watching, come to DarkHorse, sign up for an account, get a free trial, and leverage DarkHorse to make some money on Profit Exchange no matter what. You will not regret it. I mean, Mike laid it out for you. It's all so simple. It's self-explanatory, and all it takes is literally 2 minutes of work to figure it out.
So for every one of our bet finders, you can see there's a question mark. We have a guide that walks through every one of these in great detail. So answer any questions. You can reach out anytime. We're happy to support and go from there. So,
They have full guides on how to get started with all of them, basically all the betting exchanges. If you have ever have questions on Profit itself, all you have to do is click here. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'm always available to chat, and start utilizing match betting because
if you go back to that screen, scroll down a tiny bit in the bottom right, state and province guides, right? And then scroll down. We got New Jersey here, or any other state if you live anywhere else, and these are all the current offers, right? Just the sign-up offers. So 17 sports books in New Jersey. If you do all the sign-up offers, you're going to make about $6,000. And then if you do all the offers throughout the year, we're estimating you can make around $18,000. Some make more, some make, maybe a touch less, but some make significantly more than that on a regular basis. And then
really could get lucrative.
Yeah, it can get pretty silly how profitable it is. Keep scrolling down, right? And Ryan, his next question talked about his bankroll based on how big it is. So if you go a little bit further down, right here. So your starting bankroll under or over 6,000. We're going to reorder these sportsbooks promotions and how you should attack and tackle them to maximize your profit, right? And then below, if you go a little bit further, again, we have details on every single one of those offers.
Simple. Just claim offer, come on the Profit Exchange, input your email, password, DarkHorse, in the referral tab, continue, submit your documentation, and you're ready to rock. You're ready to make some free money.
It's too easy.
It really is. I highly, highly, highly encourage people to utilize DarkHorse and Profit Exchange just in tandem. Filters are awesome. This is really cool. I haven't used DarkHorse before. Also have friends who have smaller bankrolls who I can show this to now. Ryan, use it. You will not regret it. I use it here in New York. I live in New York. I unfortunately can't use Profit myself, but I am about to use some free Bally bets that I'm excited. I have $150 in free bets. So going to
$150 in free bets, 70% conversion. You're looking at what, $90, $100 profit just for a couple minutes of work.
It's as simple as that. It really is a great product. Really easy to use. Ryan has one last question, it looks like. Last question for you before I run. How do I sign up? What is the cost? Great question.
Yep. So DarkHorseOdds.com. You can sign up there. And then the cost. So we have a 2-day free trial. We have $9 for the first month after the 2-day free trial, and then $39 a month after that. So if you did all the sign up offers in New Jersey, that's $6,000 profit. So that pays for what? 2.5 to 3 years worth of subscriptions to DarkHorse, which, by the way, you're just going to keep using it every day and continuing the profit. And it's going to be one of the most, I would argue, one of the most or highest ROI investments you can possibly make.
It pays for itself probably 10 times the amount. So it's just really simple to use. It's an incredible product. Mike, what do you have to plug before we head out? I appreciate you doing this and really excited for people to start doing some more match betting and using Profit Exchange for it.
Nothing in particular. So reach out with any questions. I know it can be intimidating at first, and it can sound scary, especially if you've never bet with sports books before. And it sounds like, oh, can I really get guaranteed money? Yes, and it's important to understand that you're using promotions to your advantage, and you're betting on all possible outcomes of the sporting event. So no matter what happens, one of your two bets is going to win, and DarkHorse is going to do all the math to make sure you bet the right amount on both sides so you walk away profitable.
It's that simple. It's literally 2 minutes of work. It's like the Profit Boost. It is. They lay it out for you. They show you exactly what to do, where to bet it, and what to put on it. And you walk away happy. You walk away with money no matter what. You don't even have to watch the game. Even anyone can also do it.
Yeah. So I would say there's two large groups of people who use DarkHorse, right? One is people who are already familiar with betting and then realize oh, this is a great way to make money. But there's also a contingent, right, and who knows nothing about sports, doesn't care about sports, but wants this as a side hustle, and it absolutely is, right? This is a side hustle you can do without knowing anything about sports. We have guides that walk through sports betting basics. It's good to have a general familiarization, but you don't have to care about sports. You don't have to know about sports. Just understand the concepts. We have all the guides you could possibly need for that, and then use the tools we provide.
Simple. When you're with your friends and family tomorrow, let's say you're going on if you're going on that walk with your cousins who are 21 plus, of course, tell them about DarkHorse, tell them about Profit Exchange, tell them about all the free money they can make. You just saw us make you $170 in literally 5 minutes just utilizing Profit Exchange and a free bet on ESPN Bet. It's that simple. Spread the good word. Mike, I appreciate you doing this. I hope you have a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And
same to you.
Do it again sometime soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Later.